What's up guys, Perlin here, and in today's video I'm going to give you my impressions of the Canon M50 mirrorless camera. So I've had the M50 for about 7-8 months now, so I've really sort of put it through its paces, and it's my main camera that I use for all of my work and YouTube and photography and things like that, so absolutely love it. So let's go over some of the features of why I think it's so good and some of the things that aren't so great about this camera. So the mobile phones these days have really great cameras for what they are, and you're always going to have a mobile phone on you to take little shots here and there. But if you want more control and you want like a bit more ability to take, creative and cinematic photos and video, then you really want something which has a detachable lens on it. And the mirrorless camera is a great option because it's mirrorless, so it doesn't have mirrors in it like a DSLR, so it means it's a lot smaller. So before this I had a Canon DSLR camera, so a lot bigger, a lot chunkier, a lot heavier, which means heavier for travel, and just the sort of size of it meant that anytime you wanted to go out to take photos or video, you really sort of had to make it an event, like you were going out to take photos or film a video. Where this one, it's small enough that you can put it on a strap and just have it on your hip or in your bag, and it's not that big of a deal, so you can have it at dinner with friends, walk around and just sort of always have this on you to be able to get good photos and video. So the size factor of this is really good. So the M50 has all of the features that you will need if you're doing vlogging or travel blogging or videography or photography. So you've got the flip out screen, which is great, that also flips around. So this is great for selfies, it's great for filming by yourself, which I do a lot. So you can see that you're in focus, see that it's framed up all nicely. Some cameras don't have this, or they have screens that flip up or only flip halfway type thing, so you can't actually see yourself. And flipping to the side is also really good, so you can put a microphone on the top here, and that doesn't block the screen that flips up. Ergonomically, it's great as well. It's got a fairly deep grip for holding it, so I've never really gotten tired with my hands by having like a small little camera with a lot of weight on the end. Also, with a side flipping screen, it means that you can have a viewfinder. There's some mirrorless cameras on the market which has a screen flipping up, but they've taken out the viewfinder, so if you like that, side flipping screens is the way to go. It's got super good auto tracking, so it tracks your face to make sure you stay in focus when it's on auto. It's touch screen, so you can access all of the settings from the screen instead of having to know how to find them in the dial menu from the top here. It's got an external mic input for better audio. It's got HDMI input for connecting it to computer and TV. It's got all of the usual manual settings plus all of the auto settings, and it's a really good like pick up and go camera. Like you can pick it up, just use it in auto and get great quality photos and video without having to learn it. So if you're just a beginner, this is also a great camera. Another great thing about the M50 is it's cheap. I got this camera for $900 Australian with the kit lens, which is a 15 to 45mm lens. So that's a great price. Some of the other cameras might be a little bit better, but the price is so much higher that I feel like it's not worth the extra money to get like a super high quality Sony or something, unless you are really getting into a professional stage of producing content. But this camera isn't perfect, so let's go over a few things that isn't that great about this camera. First of all is the lens that it comes with. If you can see on the side here, it's got a little clip that you have to switch up before you can unlock it. And same thing to lock it back. You have to lift it up for it to go down. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. And this is only a little thing, but it means that it's a couple of extra seconds. So if you see something super cool and you want to whip out your camera and photograph it, and this thing's like getting in the way and you're like, why isn't it working? And then you realize and you undo it. So that's a little thing, but it is a bit annoying, and I haven't seen this on any other lens. I don't know why they put it on this lens. Another issue this camera has is with the viewfinder is there's a little sensor right here. So you could be going to take a photo and you accidentally, try and see it a bit better, and the sensor thinks it's your face and it blacks out the screen. So it's used for if you have the screen like this and you want to look through the viewfinder, it cuts off the screen and turns it black so you don't press any settings with your nose or something like that. But it's way too sensitive. So there's heaps of times when I've like been wanting to hold the camera like this or something, and my finger goes over the sensor at the back and it cuts out the screen. So that's very annoying as well. Another issue this camera has is because it's a small camera, it has a small battery, which means that you really do need to buy a second battery, which costs about $50. So if you're going out for like a long session where you're doing a lot of photos or video, or you're going out for like a day trip when you're traveling, it's probably going to run out of battery. So you definitely want to bring an extra. One other great feature about this camera is it's got a manual flash. So a lot of times if you're in auto with other bigger DSLR cameras, you have an auto and you're in a dark area and you hold down the trigger button and the flash automatically pops up because it wants to use it. And then you have to go in, you have to find the no flash setting and put that on to take the picture. This one is just manual, so I hardly ever use the flash and it just stays down. So that's another little benefit of this camera. Another great feature I've found with this camera is it has silent mode, which means you can stop the sound of the shutter when you take photos. This is great for like weddings where you don't want to like interrupt things, or I've done like photographing yoga studios and sessions where you don't want to make sound, you just want to quietly take photos without making too much sound. It's got that setting, which is great. And it's also pretty good with low light as well. I've taken a lot of low light snaps, you know, when like having dinner at night time, plus in the evening when the sun's going down and getting those sort of sunset shots and different people. It comes up really well with low light as well. So that's a great thing about this camera that Canon hasn't always been the best at. So all in all, as you can tell, I would highly recommend the M50 Canon camera. It's cheap, it's got all of the different features you need, great flip out screen, very easy to use, and you can just pick it up and go. So I recommend this camera for travel. But that's it for now. Till next time.